Hey guys, what's up? Mina Fox here, and guess what today is? It's National Iowa Day. You remember a while back I did a video on how it was a special day to celebrate the 175th anniversary to Iowa statehood. Well, guess what I got to show you? Because now that it's National Iowa Day, which is a special holiday, just want to show you this Iowa state flag, the kind that's a desk mount. So I'm always proud to be living here. I'm always proud to have lived here in Iowa all my life. This is the state that I was born and raised, as well as my mom. She's always lived here in Iowa all her life. And of course, all my siblings, they've grown up here in Iowa, even if all but one are living out of state, which I will not tell you. And there's only one person in my family here that's not from Iowa, and it's my dad. He was born and raised in Nebraska before he and my mom got married. And the area that I live in borders Nebraska, which we will sometimes go across the border to go out to eat somewhere or something sometimes. And right now, as we're trying to get out of this pandemic and stuff, this great state of Iowa's been leading the way to recovery, getting kids back in school and stuff. Thanks to the strong leadership of Governor Kim Reynolds. I always appreciate everything she's done. She goes to every single county all around the state because that's her job as governor. She's always protecting law enforcement because we need to keep our cities and our communities safe. And we know that the hard left, they're failing their people at every level. And of course, for the upcoming midterms, yesterday was the precinct caucuses, where people that are running for office have to gather signatures. And so, for the midterm elections, I'm proudly endorsing Senator Chuck Grassley for re-election, as well as Governor Kim Reynolds for re-election, and Secretary of State Paul Pate for re-election, and Mike Naig, the Secretary of Agriculture for re-election here in the state of Iowa. And there's 3 more people on the list that are running for these seats to flip them red that I'm endorsing. Brenna for Attorney General, and Hanusa for State Auditor of Iowa, and Roby Smith, or is it pronounced Roby Smith, which is for Treasurer. And speaking of the Attorney General, that Tom Miller, he's been in this seat for too long. He's doing nothing for Iowans. But thankfully, Brenna will be a new leader to work with Governor Kim Reynolds and other elected officials in the state of Iowa, in which Brenna Bird, then Brenna Findley, before she got married, she ran against Tom Miller back in 2010, only she was behind him 11 percentage points. But thankfully, this is time to fight harder, because now we're in the time of we're in a time called the red wave, thanks to flipping Virginia from blue to red in the gubernatorial race. That parents need to speak out for their children's education, because kids belong to their parents, not the government. Parents deserve to have a say about their children's education. And of course, for State Auditor Rob Sand and Treasurer Mike Fitzgerald, because according to Iowa Field Report, it has uncovered some dirty secrets behind behind those guys. This is what's wrong with the Democrat Party. And this is why now the Democrats are starting to fail Iowans anyways. And lucky for us, in the 2020 Senate election, we got Senator Joni Ernst reelected against failed real estate executive Teresa Greenfield, and for Congress in the House of Representatives, we got congressional districts 1 and 2 flipped from blue to red. The only district that's still blue is the 3rd one, which is already failing constituents and was narrowly reelected. And yeah, like Cindy Axne from Iowa's 3rd district, which is the most urban district in Iowa, and she's been hiding from Iowans. But thankfully, people like Congresswoman Ashley Hinson and Dr. Marriott Miller Meeks from districts 1 and 2 respectively, they're speaking out for our kids' education as well as our health freedoms. And of course, Randy Feenstra in the 4th district where I live in, which is the most Republican district in Iowa and the most rural district in Iowa. Yeah, Randy, he's been delivering for farmers and ranchers and small businesses and stuff. And Congresswoman Ashley Hinson, she just introduced a bill which is to stop masking kids at school, because kids, they need to have the freedom to breathe when they're at school. They don't need to wear those things around their faces, because, I mean, come on, masks are extremely oppressive. Very. And because, you know, kids are at low risk of contracting COVID-19. And we're thankful this state of Iowa has been leading the way to recovery, which we know that blue states like California, New York, Illinois, and those states, they're already failing their constituents with those mask mandates and lockdowns, and they're trying to indoctrinate their kids, which is just terrible. And thankfully, Governor Kim Reynolds, she's been signing a great number of bills into laws. She's bans critical race theory in the schools, and among other things, because we know parents need to know what's best for their children's education, not the government. The parents should have a say about their kids' education. But anyways, enough of that. And then there's a bonus thing that I just got that I ordered, but is off subject with the video. I got this desk mount of the Canadian flag, which I've been wanting to get because years ago I've gone to Canada back in the summer of 2013 with my parents, and it was fun going there. We went to Banff. And anyways, moving aside from politics, that as you know, I just want to let you know that my fursona, Mina Fox, that as he gets older, in his 20s, he and his little brother Ashley, they immigrate from Canada, and they move to America into the state of Iowa, like where I live. Because you know I love Iowa, and it'll be a great move for my fursona and his little brother in the story. And I'm also planning to introduce an alternate fursona, which I kind of model more after myself, but that he's a fox with fur colors that are based on the state of Iowa's flag. Only without that eagle and that ribbon, which would be too much detail. I'm thinking of using a corn for a symbol. Because you know Iowa is best known as the corn state, because we in the state of Iowa, we're the #1 supplier of corn here in America. And just like Congresswoman Ashley Hinson says, as well as Randy Feenstra in my district, that Iowa's the #1 state that feeds and fuels the world. Oh, and Senators Joni Ernst and Chuck Grassley say it because they know it. Because we supply all the food, like the corn, pork, and all those other goods. And And this is why we need to keep Iowa a farm state. That kind of like when we're driving around somewhere in the state of Iowa, that almost every 5 or so minutes that we're like entering rural portions of the state. And the neighborhood that I live in, which I won't tell you, there are some farms. There are some farms about a mile or so away. But because we need to keep Iowa a farm state, plus one of those ice cream makers, it is based in a town that's a half-hour drive from where I live, and is known as one of the best ice creams, and it's from a family-owned business. Plus, we know that the Republican Party, they're the party that's trying to protect farmers, cut our taxes, and Governor Kim Reynolds, I've watched her State of the Union speech last month, and she did a great job. My parents and I were watching her speak like I was getting ready to watch, and she's been a great governor, and she signed the largest state tax cuts in Iowa history so that we as Iowans can have more and more of our hard-earned dollars so that we can go on vacation, to go to Adventureland or somewhere, or if we need to fix our homes or our cars or whatever's important, and do what we can to support our families. Because it's too bad we have the worst administration in history who's been signing a bunch of job-killing executive orders, and it's terrible because we know Joe Biden only cares about his paycheck. That's what the whole Democrat Party cares about. They only care about getting rich off of us. They kill jobs while they give themselves a raise. I'm sorry, but the government, whether at the state, at the federal level, they're supposed to give their constituents a raise, not themselves a raise, their constituents. Because we know Democrat state governors in like California, New York, Illinois, those governors are giving themselves a raise. They're putting themselves before the constituents. That's terrible. But thankfully here in states like Iowa, South Dakota, Florida, Tennessee, North Dakota, Indiana, Idaho, and states like those governors, they're doing all they can to work with their constituents around every single corner of the states they each represent. Because this is why we need leadership, not dictatorship. Because I'm really happy we're now in the time of the red wave, thanks to former President Trump, to endorse candidates who are America first and put their constituents first. Because we know Donald Trump signed the largest federal tax cuts in American history. But the media, they want to lie to you and say he only gave tax cuts for the wealthy. That claim is a big fat lie. Because Donald Trump, he was a businessman. He knows how to give his employees a paycheck. So because money should go to people who work under such people. Because people who get a job, they're supposed to get a paycheck so they can support their families or whatever. Because we know the mass media, they're the ones who care about the money. The mass media and the far left Democrats are the ones who care more about the money than anything. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys, if anyone lives in Iowa where I live, hope you had a wonderful National Iowa Day. And sorry to record this late, but I just wanted to make this video and post it. And give it a thumbs up, comment, hit the subscribe, turn on the bell to get notified for new video notifications. And this is Mina Fox signing off.